Peanut butter. There you go. Got to bribe the talent. That's one of her favorite things. There we go. Oh yeah, now she'll settle in. Usually when Ken tries to do this, he gives her best back. She gives her best backside. So we'll start. If I can get the attention of the camera. Hi, I'm Steve Thompson, president of Emery Thompson Machinery, and welcome to our continuing series of Make It Fresh. Here today with Jeff from Fruitland, Florida. Jeff, we call him Tie-Dye Jeff, owns Mystic Adult Ice Cream and Ices up in Fruitland Park, and a fabulous place. You should contact him and go see it. And today we're going to show you how to make different products, ices, ice cream, gelato, and try to answer any questions that you have. So we're going to take everybody out to the factory and show them how we build them. Now we just finished up a run of the CB350s, and we do everything in production runs. So we'll make 20 or 30 of the CB350s, and then now we're switching over this week to build CB200s, and we hand make everything. And one important thing that you'll see also is that every single machine gets tested for 3.5 hours. So when it leaves here, we know it's running perfectly. So we'll go around this way. Again, these are the CB200s being built. And over here, this is where we build the 12s, 24s, and 44s. There's a lot of sub-assemblies that go on, so it's not just putting a machine together. We can put together a machine in 5 days, but the sub-assemblies take about 2 to 3 months. All the hand machining of the castings for the front doors, getting in the Copeland compressors, the American-made motors, creating and forming the freezing cylinder. There's a lot that goes on before it gets to this point. We've just cleared out a whole bunch of machines that we'll show you when we turn around. That's why it looks empty at the moment, but we're usually very busy. So we'll go over here. This is what we were building this week, and they're just getting ready to ship out. So you can see they're all crated and ready to go. They're going to all sorts of different locations around the world. This is a 44 quart. This is the world's largest production batch freezer. That's going to make 11 gallons of ice cream in the same amount of time that the little machine that we use today made, about 10 minutes or a little less. These are 24 quarts. The barrels are longer than what we made today, and that will make 2 3-gallon tubs in about 8 minutes. Everything is Copeland compressors. Copeland are made in Sydney, Ohio, made in the USA, considered the world's best. This is the cylinder size that we were using today. That's a 12 quart. Now that began as a flat piece of plate stainless steel. And then we roll it, and then we heliarc weld it, and that forms the freezing cylinder. And that front door is so heavy, we have to put on a solid brass ring just to hold the door. It hinges open this way. And that'll all be wrapped in about 85 feet of double wrapped copper tubing, which, as I mentioned, will never wear out. And then the back wall is welded on. If you know anything about welding, the weld is actually stronger than the metal. So that barrel is for a lifetime. We've never replaced an Emery Thompson barrel. They just don't wear out. And again, the average life of our machines is 45 years. We know they last longer than that. I have machines at the University of Maryland that are 80 years old. I've got machines equally as old around the world, but we peg it at 45. That seems to be a good number. This is just finished, and it doesn't tell me where it's going, but that's a 24 quart with the infinite overrun control. On here, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but we have on here what's called a QR code. And that's something new that I thought up, of using QR technology. It's kind of like a barcode, but you can take your smartphone and scan it and then open it up, and it takes you to the Emery Thompson help desk. So even though we're available till 9 o'clock at night, 6 a.m. to 9 p.m., you can scan this at 2 in the morning if you need to know what you're doing wrong with your machine and how to correct it immediately. So no matter where in the world you are, by just scanning that, you're at our help desk. You can also reach it if you've got an older machine by going to emerythompson.com, and it'll be right there. So that's a pretty handy thing that we've added onto. Over the years, I work on improving the machines, improving the welding techniques, the materials that we use. We never do anything to cheapen the product. We can get our price for the machine because we build such a high quality product. But when you talk about price, we come out less than any other company because you're buying direct from us. You're not going through a dealer. If you go through a dealer, you have to add 33% markup because the factory has to make money, the dealer has to make money, and then they sell it to you. We go from factory to you, and we do that and have done it for 108 years because, quite frankly, we know more about our machines than anyone. So I don't want to have someone who sells, ovens and mixers and deep fat fryers selling you a batch freezer because they just aren't going to know enough about it. We'd rather you come right to us, the source of information. Luke is welding up the frames for the machines. Hello. And after he welds them up, we then send them out in the park to the powder coater, where instead of just painting them, we have them powder coated. The paint is electrostatically put onto the metal. It'll never come off, and we get a much better quality fit and finish on the machine by doing that. So when we build a machine, we build it either in one of our two factories, or we do it in Brooksville, Florida itself, or we do it in another source in Florida or the United States. There's not one machine, not one part in this machine that's coming from China, and there never will be. Hi, Dial. Okay, we won't touch them. Here we're polishing. Dial has ground out the cylinder here to put the head ring on it, and then he's polishing the cylinder so that we get a nice clean finish on that. And that will become the freezing cylinder. We'll put the head ring on it, and then we'll wrap this one in about 120 feet of continuous copper tubing. The copper tubing is seamless, so it can never develop a leak. It's impossible. And it will last, the copper will last well over 100 years. Watch your step here. If you can just peek back here with the camera, the casting starts off as a rough sand casting, and then we have 25 hours of machining that goes into it, and then another 3 hours of hand polishing until it gets to this beautiful shiny finish. And when this machine is all finished, that will stay looking like that forever. And it's just never going to wear out. And it has that large gate that slides up and down to let the ice cream out. Look at the size of that opening. That's the 44 quart. That means you're going to get the ice cream out of the machine quickly, which translates into absolutely perfect consistency. because you get the ice cream out so fast, unlike other machines with small openings where if it takes you 2 or 3 minutes to get it out, it's going to affect the quality of the ice cream. It's not going to weigh the same between the first and the last. If I can discharge it in 35 seconds, it's all the same. And that's about 35 pounds of cast stainless steel. That's our Rolls-Royce emblem. A lot of people compare us to Rolls-Royce. I have to tell you, I think we're a better quality because they don't test every car for 3.5 hours like we test every machine. We don't have one in testing right now, but right here is a large tank of sugar water to simulate Italian ice. And we run this through the machines. Italian ice is harder on the machine than ice cream. So we test with Italian ice, batch after batch after batch of every machine that leaves here, so that when it leaves here, we know it's all set up right, it's ready to run. And that's how we do it, every single machine. We have parts going back on our machines 50 years, so that if you ever need a part, no matter which country you're in, if you're in the United States of America, I can have a part on your desk tomorrow by 8:30 tomorrow morning, whatever you need. It's in stock. If you're in a foreign country, if you're in Bolivia or Kenya or Shanghai or Sri Lanka, I can have the part there in 2 days from when you call us up. A lot of companies, they don't have the parts. You might have to wait weeks or even months. Well, a machine that you have to wait weeks to get it up and running does you no good at all. We have everything in stock that we build. And that's basically our tour. I would thank you for coming. And again, tune in to emerythompson.com. We'll be doing more seminars. Take a look at our 50 YouTubes. I think you'll find them helpful for different flavors.